Can you imagine eating this giant cookie and losing weight, like winning a lottery? Hi, it's Nadia. Today we are making my keto version of chocolate chip cookies. It's an inspiration from the popular New York Bakery Style gigantic 6-ounce cookies. It's actually a real keto fat bomb to me. One cookie is more than enough a meal. Outside and especially the edge is crispy. Inside and particularly the center is soft and chewy, gooey and melted, chocolatey and nutty. Have one bite, it's heaven immediately. Enjoy the balance of sweetness, bitterness and saltiness. Texture and flavor are both amazing. Let's get started together. The ingredients needed are 275 grams of almond flour, 30 grams of coconut flour, 2 grams each of Sesame gum, baking powder, baking soda, and sea salt, 80 grams of ghee or unsalted butter, softened in room temperature, 60 grams of monk fruit sweetener, golden, 20 grams of monk fruit sweetener, classic, 1 egg and 1 yolk, room temperature, 75 grams of unsweetened chocolate, 100% cacao, 75 grams of pecans or any nuts of your choice, both chopped, and optional for toppings, 3 grams each of flaky sea salt and monk fruit sweetener golden. First, we start with the dry bowl. Whisk almond flour if it has some big lumps. Sift the others, especially for baking powder and baking soda. We don't want any unexpected air pocket in our cookie dough. Mix them well all together. Different from using my go-to mixing bowl, we need a big one since this will be a giant cookie dough. Let's work with our wet ingredients. Adding ghee, taking every bit of it, and sweeteners. You can play with the ratio of total 80 grams of golden and classic monk fruit sweeteners, like white sugar and light brown sugar used in the traditional cookie dough. Give it a good mix with a whisk. Purpose of hand whisking is to mix them well, not necessary to cream the ghee and sweeteners in a very fine and pale status. 3-minute hand whisking is my maximum muscle power. It does combine and smell so good. Then adding egg and yolk, one at a time or all in. Give it another 1 minute hand whisking. Change the whisk with a spatula. Mix them well. Don't be afraid if the texture seems a bit funny. It will be all good. The famous New York cookie bakery does not use vanilla in their chocolate cookies, so this time I don't add it either. But for vanilla lovers, you can certainly add 1 to 2 teaspoons at this stage. Then we combine dry and wet ingredients. Adding all in or separated in several additions will both work well. Mix them to a status of evenly spread bits and lumps. It doesn't matter if not yet forming a combined dough. Then the most exciting part, chocolate chips and chopped pecans. The dough is big and thick and heavy. That's why I use a 5.5 liter big bowl. I changed my regular size spatula into a jumbo size spatula without using a stand mixer. This giant cookie can be still handmade. See how delicious the dough appears. It's so tempting to eat a spoonful raw dough, but please try not to do that. In the same bowl, directly and roughly, I divided the whole into 4 portions. This batch will make 4 giant cookies. To be precise, using a measuring scale and a plastic wrap comes in handy. I scoop out a portion of this very loose dough. With plastic wrap, it's much easier to form a big bowl. Each bowl weighs 6 ounces, about 170 grams plus 1 gram of plastic wrap. I'm making a baseball-sized big bowl. Very intriguing. Then I press down the bowl a bit to form a round cookie shape. This dough is very forgiving and easy to work with. The dough shape is basically the final product shape. No worry for overspreading when baking. See how the chocolate and pecans pop up from the dough. Smells buttery good. Can't wait. But before baking, we need to wrap it and chill it in the fridge or freezer, optionally from 1 hour to 48 hours. It's kind of a marinade time period for the dough. Help to intensify all the flavors into a very balanced whole. After a good overnight chill, the cookie dough is ready to be baked, or optional with a final touch of monk fruit sweetener sprinkles and flaky sea salt. Sweetener sprinkles bring an extra crispiness with a good color outside. Flaky sea salt balance dough sweetness and chocolate bitterness. Both give this amazing cookie a more flavorful add-on. You are going to fall in love with it. Before baking, one extra mention for chocolate chips. Use a real chocolate bar of your choice. I prefer chocolate chunks directly from a chocolate bar. Both chocolate chunks and chocolate dust normally bring more complex texture in a cookie, but I sift chocolate dust out and only keep chocolate chunks. Why? The longer time I rest my cookie dough, chocolate dust plays a role similar to cocoa powder. The classic chocolate chip cookie becomes double chocolate cookie. Preheat oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Bake for 10 to 15 minutes depending on how soft, chewy, or how crispy you like. For this thick and giant cookie, I prefer soft, chewy, and even slightly underbaked. So I stand by at 9 minutes 30 seconds and have it out of oven at exact 10 minutes baking. It's delicate and fragile. Leave it on the tray untouched for at least 15 minutes, then transfer to a cooling rack. Let's take a moment to appreciate how humongous this 6-ounce keto cookie is. It's 4 centimeters thick, thicker than 1.5 inch. Diameter is 10.5 centimeters, wider than 4 inches. It's a giant monster, no joke. Normally I shape a cookie in a 2 tablespoon volume, or 30 grams each, up to 50 grams. This 6-ounce, 170 grams of one cookie is beyond my imagination. For visual comparison, it's much bigger than an extra large egg, and larger than my both hands circle holding. And here comes the moment of truth. So excited, a bit nervous, tremendously happy. Wow, I love it. Because of its thickness and giant size, cookie center has the most wonderful degree of softness and chewiness, a truly delightful indulgence in my keto diet. I wish you enjoyed this video, and please always know that you are cherished and blessed. Thank you for your watching and considering to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.